In this Halo Wars 2 3 versus 3 match, I have an enemy that ended up looking down on me just because a certain thing ended up happening. And so I want to go ahead and commentate this game because I played my heart out here, tried to make the best reads, and always just tried to be the best player that I can be. And so we have ourselves a 3 versus 3 match. I am playing as Cassano. I don't know who my other teammates are. I know red is Decimus. I know orange is Jerome. And I believe yellow is Anders. And so our side, we do have double Covey. And so there you go. We have a Vortis that is blue and an Arbiter that is green. So the way I opened up was I wanted to go ahead and get a Jackrabbit to see if I can go ahead and compete and get the thing on the right side, as well as being able to scout. And right away we already have an engagement. So we have mines being dropped, we have our Marines trying to engage on the enemy Marine. Our Jackrabbit is trying to do some work here too. And so now I'm going back to my base, and all of a sudden, look, a vortex is going down. And so there we go. This Jackrabbit is not looking too hot. So I'm going to go ahead and send that Marine, but that Jackrabbit is null and void. He's been taken out. And so I'm just going to go ahead and grab as much as I can. But as you can see, orange was there, yellow was there, and red was there. All three of them crashed down on me, and a red vortex came down. And so, you know, they committed a lot to be able to get that right side to get those resources. So props to them. So ended up losing a Jackrabbit in that process, and so next goal is let's pump out another Jackrabbit. Why? I don't know what to do for my 5th building point yet, and I want to be able to see what the enemy is doing so I could have a better understanding of how I'm going to go ahead and approach this matchup here. One thing I've been trying to stop doing is just blindly making builds and then just hoping for the best, right? Either playing aggressive with barracks, or I'm getting an armory out and getting a hero, or I'm going like fast tech 2, or I'm just going infantry play or mass Jackrabbit play, right? There's a whole bunch of different things that I can do that I just chosen not. I just don't want to blindly do that. And so Jackrabbit is being sent out. We do have that 300 power to upgrade that 3rd gen, so here we go. And then we're going to go ahead and make that armory. Actually, we're going to go ahead and make a Marine there. Ooh, that's very interesting. So Jackrabbit is going out to go ahead and scout the enemy. And so now we're just going to wait. And so Marines pop out at that bottom side from that ramp. And here we go. Yellow, full econ. Full econ. Double gen, 5 supply. That's nothing too scary. And then another supply pad on the mini base. And so that says a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and get this Marine in position because I'm thinking, oh, I may grab a second base. And there you go. Red is also full econ. And that was my cue. I'm like, okay, if both red and yellow went full econ, I'm going to go ahead and handle this. And look at this. You got yourself a gen, triple gen by a Jerome. And so I said, okay, we're going to focus on economy. Let's go ahead and get that mini base. Definitely could have gotten that mini base sooner, but it is what it is. And so practically all 3 of them went econ, with orange going with an extremely late hero. So I decided to grab that second base. Our teammate decided to do the same thing after seeing what I got potentially, or maybe they decided to do it, who knows. I'm going to send that Marine and try and get it into high ground, and there you go. Cody J. Schwartz saying 2 dead rabbits, LMAO. Honestly, just commentating this game, I totally forgot my Jackrabbit, just like how I did in that game. That Jackrabbit served its purpose, which was just to go ahead and scout, but apparently, you know, you want to go ahead and make a comment like that, so, you know, it is what it is, PC players. And so, mini base is going to be done, and now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next phase. So, we have just enough to go ahead and get a gen on that mini base, so we're going to go ahead and do so. Did not mean to make that Jackrabbit. And now we're going to go ahead and upgrade this base right away. We want to go ahead and see if we can get turrets and all that stuff associated with it. Green has a very small army that he's going to go ahead and try and send to that left-hand side to see if he can get punished orange whatsoever. And blue's going to continue to focus on nodes. And so I definitely could have done a better job grabbing nodes on that right-hand side on my lane. But, you know, it is what it is. But that extra power definitely could have gone a long way. But we're still working on just building our economy. So like the theory is that like, oh, speaking of which, got a big attack on the generator at the top, and a vortex is about to go down. It gets it gets 2 out of the 3 elite enforcers, and so that's doing some damage there. Gotta go ahead and upgrade my supply pad very quick. Decide to go back and look, and that gen is about to go. Will they be able to? Yes, they took it out just barely, and that's 800 supply that orange ends up losing there from that 3rd gen. And so now I'm going to go ahead and start getting turrets up. and I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this main base just because we can. I do have a healthy economy right now. Jerome is out for the enemy, and now I'm going to start working on my Tech 2 army once I get to Tech 2. So want to get that sensor tower up, so then that way in case anybody takes the teleporter, I will be okay in that regards. Still haven't bothered grabbing that node on that right hand side because I'm being a poor teammate, but here comes Orange coming in on that side with his Jerome. This is why I made the turret, and so the Hammer Bros are here. They're going to try and do some work. They got one stun down, which is pretty good. Second stun is going down, which is also pretty good. It's buying me a lot of time to go ahead and get my turrets up, and so we're going to go with air. We're going to go with air right away, and that's because I have an Anders on my lane. And what does Anders like to do? They like to go siege, and we got ourselves a great engagement in regard to the Brute Hammer Bros. Oh, they were almost able to get it, but he went inside his machine, which is quite unfortunate. So we're going to go ahead and go with triple air pad, which that's going to be a very huge deal in itself. So we do have the turret that's going to go ahead and do a little bit of damage on that Jerome on that side, but it's not like we're going to be able to do a lot, but we're going to see what we're going to be able to do until we get our air in a level that we want it to be. Red has expanded at mid, which was relatively nice on his part. Green is trying to pressure that to the best of his ability, and so Orange is just trying to micro his Jerome to the best of his ability to get rid of turrets and stuff like that. But honestly, it doesn't even matter because I have one turret up. I'm about to get a second turret up. I already have a second turret up, and so I feel pretty safe in that regards. Now, if he went and pushed my main base, that would have definitely been a better move for him, but he did not do that. And me getting turrets on this base and getting Tech 2 on that, Tech 2 second expansion on that right away was actually a very good idea in that regards. And so we're going to go ahead and get our last upgrade, our last turret for that base, and we're going to keep producing air. And so Green gets a very nice scout in. He sees what Yellow is doing, and look, Yellow is going air, and we're going to see siege, and there you go. You have the sentinels are coming down as well, which is always unfortunate. He's trying to focus down on the base, which is a pretty good idea, but unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to do much. And there you go. You saw Kodiak sieges that was happening by Yellow, and this is why I decided to go air, because if I stayed on the ground with UNSC and tried to engage in Anders with missile turrets and all that stuff, it just wasn't going to work. And so already have 5 Hornets. We're getting air upgrade level 1. We're creating more Nightingales as well, and it does look like one of their infantries is on the garrison. Sneaky guy, doing some good damage to my Hornet over here, which is quite unfortunate. So we're going to go ahead and just send him over to take out the remainder of those Marines while we finally capture our Tech 3 node. And speaking of air, look at that. Red has mass air going as well, which is no surprise, which is Decimus, and there goes the Sentinel air from Anders. My army's going to go in and try and help reinforce to the best of our ability. Arbiter is there as well, and now we're going to go ahead and just go for this engagement and see what we can kill over here. We haven't lost a Hornet yet, which is a good sign, and we are taking out some of the Sentinels. There we go. We just lost one of our Hornets, but now we're going to go with Restoration Drone as well, and it does look like we're going to go ahead and reset this air count that Red is going to have. And there goes Jerome over there. I just finished clearing out all those Sentinels, so that's going to be my cue to go ahead and send my units over. My army is moving relatively slow because I have that lovely Marine there that's causing some problems. So I put it at hold position at that node over there so I can go ahead and send my air to go ahead and try and take out Orange to the best of my ability. And so Red, with his air, is doing a magnificent job in regards to keeping things in check. But I'm going to go ahead and keeping Blue in check, but I'm going to go ahead and engage Orange. I just reset Yellow, which was really good. And I do have some good upgrades with my air as a whole. And so now we're just going to go ahead and try and take out as much as we can. Red has not gotten Tech 3 Banshees yet, or at least Plasma Torpedoes is not there. And we're just going to go ahead and keep encircling this Jerome. We want to be able to take him out. We're going to keep producing our vehicles through the D-pad mechanic. I don't know why I'm throwing a brain fart right now, but here we go. We're trying to take out Jerome. Jerome is being taken out relatively well, and he gets destroyed. We're going to get that reinforcement upgrade. We have now reset Orange entirely, lost his hero, lost all his Masterdoms and his infantry. That's one of those things where if you reset that, that's usually a good thing because it takes such a long time to build that back up because you only have 2 big bases, and if you have a mini, it works out as well, but you got to produce infantry and Masterdoms and all that stuff, and it just takes a while. And so he sacrifices that base, which means we end up easily putting him back to one base, which is relatively good. So we're going to go ahead and try and engage on this left-hand side on orange. He is switching to air, or at least it seems like it, because there's an air pad, but there goes a Wolverine coming out as well. And so still producing, still trying to put as much pressure as possible. Sentinel drop is coming down on that side. And now I have to start retreating because that air is just showing up pretty strong. But we will go ahead and try and get level 3. And I'm going to go ahead and also try to retreat on this side as well, because yellow with Sentinels as well as Kodiak Siege, it's going to get ready to be placed over there. But the double sensor tower set up by blue is allowing us to see this, to go ahead and fall back and get a good engagement over here to try to clean this up before it gets too out of hand. And so based off my movement input, we're going to send our air to focus down on the Kodiaks, and whatever's at the shield gen will go ahead and fight those Sentinels that are over there. So we're going to go ahead and try and focus down all these Kodiaks associated with it. More things are coming into the TP. You got Nightingales, you got still the Sentinels that are there, but it does look like we end up resetting this as a whole, which is looking really, really, really good. So we end up clearing all that out. So the play here is we're going to go ahead and just wait and take TP so we can see if we can apply anything to yellow. Since we reset yellow, the goal was to try to go ahead and take out yellow's second base, but it's fortified and it definitely has some anti-air turrets or anti-vehicle turrets. And now all of a sudden, look at this, the Banshees are there too with Jerome Spirit, Hero Spirit that was there, and we gotta fall back. It's just not looking good right now. We lost a lot of air associated with it. We do have Reavers that are there to try and reinforce, but that anti-infantry turret is also a problem. So we're just gonna go ahead and go for a full-scale retreat. There's not much we can do. Lost a whole bunch of air on my side. Not really the best engagement. I think it was better to just keep pushing that left lane as a whole, like what green is doing. So we're going to go ahead and take the TP and fall back, keep making some air units, and we're going to wait till that reinforcement grade comes in, and we will get advanced logistics. So we're going to send all our units to go ahead and try and push that left hand side where green is at. We did reset red to just one base as well, which is very good. So it's just a one base Decimus, which is something that you always want to see. And so green is showing up with elite enforcers with this arbiter as well, and so he's trying to dish out as much damage as possible over here. But red's Banshees are also showing up, and this is going to be another tough engagement over here for me because he kind of counters me with what he's got. But I'm going to go ahead and drop down a heal. I'm also going to drop down an Inferno right onto orange base to try and strip as much as we can. Since he's on one base, every little thing counts. The Vortex does go down, which is a problem, and Sentinels go down as well. Fortis is showing up with his Wraiths, and a move comes down in which it pulls everybody together. I'm blanking on the names today, man. But Reavers have now shown up, which is looking very good. But Cleansing Beam is going to start going down on the Reavers. Are the Reavers going to go ahead and dodge this? Y move jump by the Reavers. They end up losing like 3 Reavers there. But it is just good enough to go ahead and just still take out as much of red's Banshees as possible. They are Tech 3 Banshees, and it's going to be a problem. But red is just, orange is just squeezing by. He's just barely getting through. And we are hurting in the supply department, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade our base to Tech 2. And there you go. We just took out orange's base as a whole. And now this game is just set up with red that's on one base. Yellow, yes, he has 2 bases, but it's not looking good. We just reset Desi's air too, so it's not much left in this game after that. This was just a well-played game all around. Great plays by our teammates. Great plays by me. And it's one of those situations where, right, I scouted and I had to decide what I was going to do. If I blindly decided to go vehicles or infantry at the very beginning, this Kodiak stuff would have destroyed me in the mid game, and it just would have been a problem. And so, you know, Cody mentioned 2 Jackrabbits lost. LOL. Well, my response is they were just used to scout. Honestly, I couldn't even remember that I lost the second one, even with this commentary that I was doing as well. And so, you know, there's more to meet the eye than what seems to be the beholder. I have no idea what I was just trying to say there, but all I'm trying to say is, you know, if you're gonna go ahead and be like that, it's just, I don't know, me personally, I think it's just something that's just not needed in this game. Like, you don't need to be like that, but that's the way I'm interpreting it, right? But, you know, all in all, was able to make the right decisions in this game, and that's just what matters. Ended up having great teammates as well. and I ended up supporting Green when he needed help, and Green made some moves himself, and Blue ended up supporting me when I needed help, and that's what Team War is about. Team camaraderie. There we go. Team camaraderie. Help each other out to try to go ahead and pull out a victory. So Yellow's still staying in here for a little bit longer, but then in a couple minutes or maybe seconds later, gonna end up leaving the game. Well, not resigning, but just self-destructing everything, and now we have to go ahead and clear out units. So, you know, I think it's pretty funny when players go ahead and like do that in regards to like looking down on other players. It's funny too because at the very beginning of the game, I got tripled, right? I got Vortex, I got Mines, I got Marines from all three of them, yellow, orange, and red. Red had grunts. And so, you know, to say that comment, it's just like, you know, I don't think it's necessary. But that's the way I interpreted it. If you interpret it differently, hey, by all means, let me know, because I'm trying to have a different perspective when I play this game. Fortunately, sometimes the player base can be a little bit toxic, and then I try to fight that fight, which honestly, I just need to learn to just forget about them. It's not worth spending that time and energy. I love this game. I'm not going to let them do things to me or say things to me to make me not want to play this game any more less. And so we're going to end that tangent that is there, because this game is going to be over in a few seconds. So hope you enjoyed it. We'll go over the stats. Lots of things to learn. I think the biggest thing to take away is don't just try to blindly make a build and do something with it. You can, but you know, it is just a roll of the die at the end of the day. And so practically a full 99 team that ended up happening. And so I went 38 for 68, 28 for 54, 37 for 17. Enemy went 36 for 33, 73 for 35, and 31 for 33. Fun fact, Red also ended up blaming Orange for the loss, but if you look at our efficiency tab, I don't think that really mattered. I think we just played better as a team overall and helped each other out, which is the point of Team War. Ranked or unranked, be there to support one another, be there to play for one another, and try and pull out that W. With that being said, have a good one, have a splendid one. Until next time, G out.